A battle in Detroit here between two NFC North foes in the Green Bay Packers and the Detroit Lions. The Lions getting the win here, final from Ford Field, 15-9, second year in the row. Detroit Lions take care of business at home against the Green Bay Packers. Lomas Brown,
yes.
Danny Rogers here joining you, and we are so excited for this big dub because that means our post-game dance
Happy dance,
are coming out.
I'm going around in a circle,
Oh
Danny.
no, he's gonna get twisted.
Right here.
Someone get emergency medical. Help him, he's getting twisted up.
Oh yes, look at that. Bam, right back.
Hey.
All right. Yes.
You didn't play, 18 years for nothing, right?
Tell me about
the
it.
moves.
Hey.
We're excited. This was a great game. You saw some pretty complimentary football across all three phases in this one, but I have a feeling quarterback Aaron Rodgers, one of the most prolific passers in the NFL ever, is going to have nightmares again about rookie safety Kirby Joseph.
Oh my God, Danny, I mean, you predicted it. I won't steal your shine.
You can steal it.
Oh, can I steal your shine?
He was overdue.
Thanks.
He needed an interception, came up with not one, but two
there you go.
In the end zone.
And we needed that from that young fella. Stepped in there, and he did a great job. Danny, I'll say this. Our whole secondary did a great job today. Even when Aaron Rodgers bought some time to look downfield,
he was scrambling.
He had nowhere to go, so he had to just dump it off. That's a testimony to that secondary, how well they played today. Great job, fellas.
Defensive coordinator Aaron Glenn said this week was a tough one. They moved on from secondary coach Aubrey Pleasant. So for the secondary to do what they did here tonight, it speaks volumes. You also had another interception in this game, large man interception. Aiden Hutchinson, another rookie who will keep Aaron Rodgers up tonight in his sleep, gets an interception in the end zone. How critical not only were those takeaways, but where they happened on the field.
Thank you, Danny. That was the key. They were red zone takeaways. And anytime when you could take the ball away from an Aaron Rodgers, a guy that's just seen everything, a guy that's done everything in his career. Like I say, I thought the pressure was great on him all day long, but I thought the defensive secondary just stuck to their guys and really, really made it a long day for Aaron to try to find any of his receivers. And we know he had been suffering all year long from having receivers. So good job, good job, good job.
All right, let's hear what the head coach, Dan Campbell, has to say about his team's performance today.
This is a salute to service. I got a lot of family members that served, and so this kind of means a lot to me. But, you know, we had taps yesterday. We had the group that was out there at practice, and you know, I knew they were going to be at the game. It's just one of those. It's one other little small reminder of what we do is insignificant as it pertains to everything that people go through every day. But I'm just glad we could bring them a little happiness today. So I'm proud of our guys. They just don't go away. They believe they can win every week. They put it in, and we made one more play today. We made one more play than they did to win the game. I'm proud of them. I just gave the game ball to AG. It's a hell of a job, man. Coaches his heart out, and you know, he put everything into it as he always does, and those guys responded. We knew we needed takeaways today. A minimum of 2 is what we talked about, and Kirby Joseph came up big. Hutch got 1, but as a whole, that defense, man, they rose up, and you know, I thought we played aggressive. I did think we challenged on the perimeter. Look, some of the plays that they made, we were in the fight, and that's all you can ask for. We're in it. We're in it. So, all right, they made a play. But I felt like, man, we made them go the hard way, the long, hard way, and we were able to sustain. And our defense, to go down to the wire, and our defense make the final stop for the win, I think it's crucial.
You talked about needing guys to step up, individually step up. You mentioned Kirby already. Derek Barnes is another one, just maybe a little out of nowhere, but consistently both those guys making big plays throughout the game. Did you sense it was coming for either one of those guys?
Well, Kirby, yes, for sure. Only because Kirby's been, he's shooting now for 3 weeks now. He's not come off the field, and we're just letting him grow. But he's been so close. I swear every week we talk about, man, he is, the first time he missed one of those interceptions, he was about an inch away, and then the next one was about half inch away, and so now he's starting to feel it. He's got a little bit of he's got some instincts to him, some ball hawk instincts. But that was good to see. And Barnes every week has improved. Every week he's improved. And we all want it to be at a certain rate, but the bottom line is he just keeps coming on, and it was good to see him out there running around. I mean, there was a number of guys, without watching tape, that the whole defense I thought played outstanding. I mean, Will Harris was all over the field. I mean, so it was just it was a great effort. I thought Alex played well, but look, the unit itself really they took a stand today and won the game for us.
And how about the play you got
Aaron Rodgers, the first time of his career, 3 picks in the red zone. We hadn't saw that play from him. I guess when you see the job you're able to do on the reigning MVP as well, what does that mean for you guys as well as what you guys are able to do?
Well, look, I just think it's look, I felt like we had a good plan for him, and just how we wanted to play. Look, you got to disguise. I mean, you have to, and he'll take it all the way down to the wire to get a beat on what you're doing, and and then if you have an opportunity, you got to make the most of it, and we did that today. So it's one of those where if you just hang in there, and there again, man, if you're going to get beat, it's because you're in phase and a guy made one hell of a play on you. It's just you just happen to get beat one-on-one, but it's not the crucial errors. Was that your guy or my guy? That you eliminate that, and those guys they stepped up and they made it happen today. Go ahead.
And how about the way the tight end stepped up, catching 2 touchdown passes, particularly with this week in the trade?
Yeah, it was good to see, and I thought they blocked well as well. They helped us in the run game. We knew that was going to be a hard physical game, and look, that's a good defense, and they do a lot of different things. They have multiple fronts. They have multiple coverages, and but I thought the tight ends they stepped up and did exactly what we needed them to do for this game.
Yeah, it wasn't the prettiest game drive for drive for your offense, but you said you guys made that one last play in the end for your defense. If you don't, maybe we're talking here about the offense the first few questions. You said last week when complimentary football wasn't there. Is this the NFL? Your defense gets it done today, and you can hear a smile on your face?
Yeah, look, I'm excited because we won, man, and I feel like it was great to see, man, our defense taking some heat, and to see them step up against a worthy opponent, is and a good quarterback. It's good. It's real good, and I'm proud of those guys because it's easy to just, get frustrated and go in the tank, but they came back. And they believed in themselves. They believed in the coaches were going to get them prepared and give them the best game plan to have success. And so they just came back to work like they have every week. Look, offensively, yeah, it wasn't as clean as it's been. But, man, of course we want it to be cleaner. But, we did get some first downs. We were able to run it a little bit. And we got in the end zone down there other than the 4th down. And, yeah, of course we want to be better, but man, that was good enough to win today.
Yeah, with the game this last week, you had a lot of upheaval, let's say, right, with the trade and the coaching change. What does it say about your team as far as responding to that? Maybe how much they're still listening to you, buying into what your message is?
Well, I don't know if they're listening, but we won, so I'll take it. They're listening to somebody, and I'll take that if it's me or somebody else, because I'll take the win.
How important is it, how much does it make you feel great that a lot of the impact plays in this game, Aiden, Kirby, James Mitchell stepping in, were done by young rookie players who are just, seems like starting to kind of come into their own right now, and how important is that for your football team moving forward?
Well, look, it's important, but man, of course it's important. You want those guys to grow, and but at the same time, man, I want to see all of them make plays, man. That's why it's good to see Alex out there. It's good to see Bugs. I mean, Bugs making some plays, man. Mac. I mean, all of them. But of course, Mac is a young guy. But so look, our offensive line. Those are some veteran guys we got for us. See them rise up again. But it's just, listen. It was a good win, man. Our guys came in ready to go. We weren't flat. They don't care. They don't care about that. They just. They want to win. They want to win, and they're willing to put in the work to do it.
little the other day. And why do you think they were so resilient? And why do you think they came out with the performance they did today?
Well, I feel like, I mean, we've been in these games, you know, so they've been resilient. We just haven't made the last play when we needed to, and we made the last play today. You know, we just made one more play. Go ahead.
You talked about making them go the long way. You had a choice at the end of that game on the fourth down to make them go the long way. It kind of mirrored a little bit what happened in Minnesota. You opted to go for it. The defense maybe a little tougher position than they needed to be. Why did you make the decision that you did? And, I guess how proud are you for your defense responding maybe where they hadn't early in the season?
Yeah, you're talking about to go for it at the end, as opposed to kick the field goal
Probably punt.
or punt. Yeah, I felt like I liked where we were at, and I thought we would convert that. But if we did not, I had 3 timeouts in my pocket, and yeah, our defense was playing pretty good, you know. So I just felt like that was the way to go.
Couple more guys. How much do you think the secondary specifically, because that's the unit that lost the coach, how much do you think they were changed by that or pushed by that?
Well, look, I think that, you know, you never know. Things are certainly going to be a little different in that room when things like that happen. You have somebody else in there now that's, though they know him, it's a different setup, you know, and the way that you're being coached it's still what AG wants, but there's a different way of communicating it. That's all, you know. And look, it's hard to lose AP. I said this before, man. There's a lot of good coaches that things happen to, and he's a hell of a coach, and he's going to land on his feet, and he's going to rise back up again, and he's going to be probably a head coach one day. That's how much I think of him. But that's unfortunately just where we were at. But it was good to see, you know. I mean, our guys hung in there, and they listened, and they believed him, and they played well.
Dan, what does it say about this defense to get 3 picks on Aaron Rodgers?
It just says that, you know, we made the plays that were there. You know, we did not let an opportunity slip through our fingers.
Mike, then Eric, last team.
Yeah, just one thing. Did you plan to lean on your running game as much as you did, or did it just develop that way? And it seemed like it just kind of matched what was going on. It was a tough hitting game all the way.
Yeah, I just, you know, we felt like, you know, we could pound it a little bit. And when your defense is playing like they're playing, you're able to do more of that. You know, it gives you that luxury. So, you know, and there again, you know, we love our offensive line. I mean, we think it's one of the strengths of our team, you know. So we lean on them, give it to Jamal another time, and, you know, and go that route.
Eric, last one.
Coach, just a simple question. I mean, how good does it feel to just get a win? You know the heat that you guys have been facing, especially after the decisions, after every game. Like, how does it feel just to get a win? I mean, you know how hard wins have been to come by these last 2 years.
Yeah, listen, of course it feels great. I'll be honest with you, I'm exhausted. So, like, I just, you know, I want to go home, put the feet up, drink a beer, and just, you know. So it feels real good. I'm just proud of them. I really am. I'm proud of our coaches. I'm proud of the players. I'm proud of everybody, you know. Because everybody puts a lot of work into it. I know it's only 2, but my gosh, man. And there again to see, you know, end of the game, man, one stop, our defense comes through, I just think we need that. We needed that.
Any update on Kirby?
He is in concussion protocol.
Just real quick, underrated decision to go for the 2-point conversion after that first touchdown after the penalty. Could you just explain? I mean, maybe that's trust in your run game, your offensive line, put it in your hands a little bit there. But what was the thinking there? Obviously, it made the Packers have to respond.
I just, you know, if we had an opportunity to get points, I wanted to get points.
All right, lock rooms open, guys. Thanks.
Hey, any more? Just Jared in here.
Thanks, Eamon.
You just heard from head coach Dan Campbell, who's excited to go home and drink a beer. Same, coach. I'm joined by Lomas Brown. I'm Danny Rogers. This is Detroit Lions Live postgame show presented by BetMGM. He talked a lot about that defense, allowing the offense to go out there and keep the ball, hold on to the ball for the last play of the game. And that's all you ask is a shot to win a game, and they did that today.
Well, before I answer that question, I want to know if Coach is going to have a lager, IPA, something light, you know, maybe a malt liquor.
What would be your choice?
Well, I'll do light, Danny.
Okay.
I like to go light.
Okay,
But, you know,
I do too. I think we have a official beer sponsor, so
We
we
do.
really can't say much. Lomas, we have to talk about Jamal Williams.
Yes. Oh.
Because I know he's one of your favorites.
Yes,
he has
Danny.
to be one of this team's favorites. Just a very consistent running back for this team. Jamal had to step up, convert on a 2-point conversion tonight. He led all running backs in this game on the ground. There you see it, 81 yards, averaged 3.4 yards a carry. Longest rush of the day, 14 yards. And like I mentioned, scored that 2-point conversion in the second quarter that let the Lions take a deep breath for a little bit until the second half. But Coach talked about not too many penalties in this one. Lions still had 7 to Green Bay's 8, but they were able to overcome those in the second half and put points on the scoreboard for the first time since week 4 in the second half.
Danny, that was pivotal because you're right. Anytime we have self-inflicted wounds like those penalties, they normally stop drives, but for some reason we were able to overcome them today. And like you're saying about Jamal, I just love the guy. The thing that I love was 24 carries that he had. So those are hard carries. Those are the carries that you need, especially with the offensive line in front. Those guys want to eat. And when you got a running back behind you like Jamal that can get those tough yards for you, it makes your job easier. So hats off to Jamal for what he's been doing basically by himself because his running partner has been hurt, and hats off to that offensive line too.
You mentioned him, DeAndre Swift, just 2 carries today, 10 yards. However, Swift more involved in the pass game, 3 receptions for 40 yards. So you did see him get in on that action. Okay, let's take a look at the final stats between these two teams today. And here they are. Rushing game for both teams. A little bit quiet in this one. It definitely amped up for the Lions after that Jared Goff interception. And they're like, hey, let's just pound the ball here real quick. Passing yards, Green Bay edging out Lions. By a lot there, over 100 yards in that total. 3 turnovers, though, are the dagger in this one for Green Bay. Detroit Lions just won. I mentioned that interception. Green Bay also dominated time of possession. Almost 10 solid minutes of dominating that one. But you see Aaron Rodgers, 23 of 43 on the day with a touchdown. 3 interceptions were killer. Allen Lazard, 4 receptions, 87 yards, and a touchdown. And then Jared Goff's numbers there. We'll hear from the quarterback here coming up. Offensively, they got the scoring done, the majority of it, in the first half to take that lead. Second half, we keep going back into it, but you didn't have Josh Reynolds, receiver here. DJ Chark, another receiver, is on IR. Tight end TJ Hawkinson was just traded. Does it surprise you at all what this offense was able to muster up today?
It really did, Danny. I mean, the numbers may not jump off at you, but the way they controlled the ball, I mean, they moved the ball up and down the field today. We didn't get in the end zone as much as we would have liked to, but if you can control the clock, keep Aaron Rodgers on the sideline like we did today, I think that's a winning recipe too. And then also forcing 3 INTs of Aaron Rodgers, but red zone INTs. So that was the thing. They were getting ready to score, and for our defense to turn them back without getting anything, it was pivotal. So I'm just really happy about the way the defense has been playing pretty much over the last couple of weeks too, Danny.
Right. Let's bring it back to that offense and take a look at the top receivers for the day, like I mentioned, with key ones sitting out in this game or traded. So there you have it. The rookie, James Mitchell, his first career touchdown ever coming in this big one today. He knew he had to step up with TJ Hawkinson getting traded. Just 2 receptions. That's all it took. He didn't have to do much more. Amon-Ra St. Brown is slowly getting back to his normal self. 4 receptions for 55 yards. A couple of missed throws there to him. A couple of maybe drop passes as well. So he's getting his feet back under him. And then you have Shane Zylstra, the tight end, who was elevated off the practice squad today. His brother Brandon, a wide receiver, was also elevated off the practice squad today. So you had Shane get in there too.
So Danny, they never played together until today.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, Pop Warner, high school, you'd have thought somewhere along the line they would have played together. That's amazing to me. But hey, I'm glad they played today out here on this field together.
I agree. You would not know who is the older one. Shane's got Brandon by about, 5 or 6 inches. Brandon's the younger one, or the older one rather. Shorter one is the older one. Okay, looking more at this offense, I talked about Amon-Ra St. Brown getting his feet under him. He's been dealing with concussion protocol and some nagging injuries there, but he was off to such a hot start. How much does this game give him momentum for the rest of the season?
I think this game is going to help propel him. He knows he's our guy. He knows that at the wide receiver position, everybody else compliments him. And I think Jared knows that because Jared is always looking for Amar-Ra St. Brown when he's on the field. Amar-Ra seems to be in the right position all the time. He also seems to come up with the big catch when you need it. So I think both of those guys need each other. Amar needs Jared, and Jared needs him because they complement each other so well.
Yeah, you talked about Jared, and week after week, they've talked about some mental mistakes he's making with that interception. He throws an interception today. However, the offense is able to bounce back. And maybe a large part of that was this defense stuffing Aaron Rodgers and injecting more energy into this team. But what did you take from Goff's performance here over the Green Bay Packers?
I mean, it was steady, but for some reason, Danny, he looked spooked early in the game. I don't know why, because the pressure wasn't that bad on Jared, but he just didn't look comfortable. A couple of times he didn't set his feet, so the ball got away from him. You know, they rolled him out to try to get him a little bit more comfortable. They tried to throw short passes to him to try to get him in his comfort zone too. And of course they tried to run the ball to help Jared out. So to me, he was a little shaky early in this game. I thought he came along late in the game, but hopefully we could get more out of Jared these next couple of games.
Yeah, sure thing. Jared Goff, 14 of 26. You saw it, 53% completion.
Yes.
It should probably be around 60 at least at the minimum. What would you like to see from him moving forward in terms of pocket presence, which has also been talked about a lot?
Yeah, so the thing about it, I like what he did today, staying in the pocket. He didn't try to get out and cause problems
Wasn't
doing
sacked
that.
one time.
Exactly, because he stayed in the pocket where he was supposed to be at. The thing I want to see him do more, Dan, is try to go downfield a little bit more. There's a lot of checkoffs in the game, and probably for good reasons why he had to check it off. But I just think we need to stretch the field a lot more. I think Jared needs to look to get the ball downfield a lot more.
None of those big-bodied receivers in Reynolds or Chark.
Yeah.
No Hawk now, definitely playing probably a factor in that one as well. Okay, let's hear from QB1 Jared Goff standing by at the podium now.
As well as they've played all year, and as well as a lot of defenses in this league have played all year. I don't know how many turnovers they ended up with, 3 or 4. Fourth down stop, I'm sure at some point counts really as a turnover. So yeah, it's as an offense, when you're kind of trying to find your footing at times and moving the ball and getting stopped, and they're able to make those turnovers, make those plays for us, it's a good feeling.
To me, this football team moving forward too, you look at a lot of the impact plays. Kirby Joseph,
Yeah.
Jane Hutchinson, rookie. James Mitchell had that great play for you.
Yeah.
And again, rookie. That these young guys are starting to kind of make plays, and we're seeing it week after week.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun for me being in year 7 now and feeling like the old guy and seeing these young guys make plays. We had two tight ends today have their first touchdown, and like seeing their faces after that, it's what makes it all worth it. And and then on defense, Kirby obviously having a tremendous game, but we've seen that from him. He's a great instinctive player, and it was only a matter of time before it showed up on the field, and he got his chances and certainly made the most of them.
Can you talk about the struggle Jamal had, obviously in Dallas, the way he's responded, both in the Miami game and here. How much do you appreciate that?
Yeah, that's who he is, man. That's who he is, and nobody's harder on themselves than him at times. You say, hey, man, it's all right, it's not a big deal. But he's a tremendous teammate and a guy that holds himself to the highest standard.
Yeah, I got here late, but just the second half, you guys haven't scored in the second half points. I think it's just like week 4. I guess for you, David, you put up some points in that second half. What changed for you guys, closing out managing and scoring in the second half?
Yeah, we needed it. That's kind of been maybe the difference over the last handful of weeks is if we scored at some point, maybe we win those games previously, and we're able to put a drive together there. And sometimes that happens. Sometimes I think we got a defensive holding penalty that kind of extended that long drive there at the end, and that's how the game goes. And it happens on both sides, but that was I think it was 15-play drive and finishing in a touchdown there to James. It's the difference in the game, and it's huge.
Jared, how about, you mentioned earlier the 2 tight ends each catching their first career touchdowns today. What does that do, though, for the confidence of the offense, just knowing that you can go to those guys, they're going to make plays, and also that they came up with those big plays in this win?
Yeah, it's exciting. Obviously, it's fun. It's really exciting, and I think those 2 guys specifically have been so consistent through time and have finally gotten their chance this week. And Shane's a guy that we've relied on for 2 years now at times, and then James kind of coming off his injury has kind of come into his own now. And so seeing them both through practice the last handful of weeks and then getting their chances today is exciting.
You guys relied on the run game. Just how much of a benefit is that for a quarterback, knowing that
Yeah, it's big.
you can turn around and hand it to them guys? 1 minute there, the last drive, the 2-point conversion, just
Yeah.
you guys have a ton of confidence in it.
Yeah, I think we kind of knew that was the way the game was going to have to go today. Their pass defense is top in the league, and their rush defense is towards the bottom. So we were going to attack that and certainly lean on Jamal there, especially at the end when we had the game in control a little bit, and getting some of those chunk plays there in that last drive, being able to run the clock, being able to let the clock go all the way down, and then snap it, and then run it for another 7. Those plays can demoralize the defense and finish games.
Eric had asked about that last touchdown drive. You probably didn't have maybe your best game, but in that drive specifically, that third down, right big throw to Amon-Ra.
Yeah.
And then the touchdown wasn't on the first read, so I don't know, maybe those 2 throws just kind of.
Yeah, it's an uphill battle against these guys. Their defense is good, and I thought at times, like we knew that was the way the game was going to have to go, and I think what I'm most proud of is responding. You're not going to be perfect. You're going to throw a pick here and there. You're going to make a bad play. You're going to make a bad decision. But knowing that our defense was playing the way they are, how do we put one drive together and make a couple throws there for those guys? And it was a good way to finish that drive.
Back to your tight ends that made the most of their opportunity today. What did you see from them in practice that gave you confidence that you'd see that today?
They're just consistent. They're very consistent. They're very conscientious about where they're supposed to be, and understanding the play and understanding everything. And it's really good, man. It's a lot of fun to play with those guys.
Jared, can a game like this, after a week of so much turmoil, the coaching change, and the trade, what does this do for a team as far as your confidence?
Yeah, it's big. Certainly big. Any win can boost our confidence. And sure, this week was tough, and it was coming off of a game where we had it in hand and we let it slip away, and it's always hard going back on Wednesday after those games. But it's just I'm so proud of these guys, man. It's so hard, and you guys don't make it any easier certainly. But it's so hard to continue to do that, and we just do. We'll never lay down, and I know there's teams across this league that will, and we're not one of them.
Is it hard to block out the noise sometimes, especially from younger guys? You have to tell them to
Sure, I think it's impossible for them, and it's impossible for a lot of us. It's on our phones, we're on our phones, and it's just how do you handle it? Not let your guys' opinions matter, as much as you guys think they do.
When you go against more guys, the Packers and an Aaron Rodgers team, I imagine it's a bit unnerving. You don't necessarily want him to have the ball on that last drive, but you walk off this field smiling in that position, watching him lose to your defense. What can he do?
Yeah, any other time, I think you're kind of holding your breath a little bit. But our defense was playing so well, we came off going, all right, they've been doing this the whole game. Just do it one more time. And sure, he had the nice play on the 4th down the field, and then you're kind of going, all right, come on, D. And sure enough, they make their plays. And I think they had their best game of the year, obviously, and something that I know they'll build off of. And it's fun to be able to sit on the sidelines and watch that happen. It's really fun.
Just one more on Mitchell. I don't know where he was in the read progression on the touchdown, but also you went to him in that 3rd and short situation also as well in the flat. So a lot of trust putting into a young player with very limited snaps shown. So what have you seen from him on the practice field? What do you think he can do in his offense going forward?
Same kind of thing I was talking about. He's just consistent, and he's where he's supposed to be, and he does it over and over again. And is he the fastest guy in the world? No, but he's a good route runner, and he's got good hands, and he's got good feel, and guys like that, you can make it work, and he's a good player, man. I don't know if who I would compare him to, who I've played with in the past, but he's kind of just good at everything, and he's still learning. He's a rookie, but a guy that we trust and trust his hands certainly, but trust him to be in the right spot.
Your defensive guys, some of the defensive guys were talking about the players only meeting that they had, just tumultuous week for them, obviously operating fire and whatnot. Offense do anything similar?
No.
Could you sense anything different from the defense this week, just a renewed attitude or anything that they took to this game today, I guess?
Not really. Those guys, like I said, those guys just fight, man. They come back every week and fight and do a great job.
Thanks, guys.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Jared.
You just heard from Jared Goff here on Detroit Lions Live post-game show presented by MGM Grand Detroit. We have got to talk about the rookie tight end James Mitchell scoring his first career touchdown ever here. He caught his first pass last week against Miami, and now he gets the call up as tight end TJ Hawkinson is no more here in Detroit. So let's go to the play of the game by James Mitchell. We're going to the fourth quarter. Early in this one, think like maybe 10 seconds in, Jared Goff is going to look into the end zone, a dart right in there to James Mitchell, and it is good for the touchdown. What did you see on this play, Lomas?
First thing, I want to give the big guys their credit. Danny, Jared had time to look right, look left, and come back and find this receiver. You only have that time when your offensive line is doing a great job. They did a great job of getting protection, and it was a nice job for James Mitchell to make himself available, just making a big target for Jared to get the ball in there. Nice snag, touchdown for the young fella.
James Mitchell said that he was prepared, he was ready with the news that they would have to fill the void and that production on the offensive front, and he stepped up and he rose to the occasion, and he did it in front of family here today. I had my post-game interview with James Mitchell just a few moments ago. Here is what the rookie had to say. Needed to fill the void after trading tight end TJ Hawkinson. How did you calm the nerves to be ready when your number was called and step up to make big plays?
I think it goes credit to the other three guys in the room. They've helped me out a lot being a rookie. You know, they've kept me calm and, you know, just helped me out a lot when I needed it. And when they called my number, you know, I just tried to stay under control, and I was able to catch it, and I was glad.
This week you said you were ready, you were prepared. What was going through your mind when your number was called for that touchdown score?
Just make a play. Like, you know, I got to continue to build trust. It doesn't stop here. I got to continue to build that trust and confidence in the coaches and Jared Goff. And, you know, that was all that was going through my head. Just make a play if it comes my way.
This staff said everyone on the offense would eat this week. Your first career touchdown. What did this offense do to give you guys a chance to win here at the end?
I think we just executed and did the little things right. You know, we came out a little bit slow in the second half, but I think we were able to pick it back up and just really executing the game plan that Coach Johnson had for us.
You said this week your family is in town, so to do what you did in front of them, what does that mean to you?
It means the world. This is my first time. My dad has been up here. My mom's been up here once, so for them two to be here for my first career touchdown, I know they're excited. I can't wait to see them.
You have that game ball?
I do. Tim's got it. He's going to give it to me.
Congrats, James. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was one rookie doing a ton of impactful things on the field today. You also have on the defensive side, safety rookie Kirby Joseph, who came up with 2 big interceptions in the end zone today. Also had that massive pass breakup near the end zone as well to keep these Packers off the scoreboard. Unfortunately, Kirby late in this one would go down, head-on collision with cornerback Jeff Okudah. He is now in concussion protocol, so we won't actually know the status of him until later this upcoming week. But here's a look at Kirby Joseph's season stats. He was thrust into that starting position. Safety Tracy Walker went down. Someone needed to step up back there, and it is the rookie doing it. 26 total tackles on the season. 2 forced fumbles coming into this one, and he was so close to clipping off some interceptions this season. He finally gets it done today, and he has 2. And then 4 passes defended. When you see 4 passes defended, Lomas, what does that say about this player?
To me, that tells me that Kirby Joseph he studies film because he knows where the play is going. He knows what the player is going to do. And the other thing is he puts himself in position to make plays. And you only do that through film study, through practice, through watching these guys. And, you know, and I think he took a lot from Tracy when Tracy was there, because he'll come up and he'll hit you too. So I love what he's been doing. And I'm telling you, when a guy's always around the ball like he is, they call him a ball hawk. And I just love what he's been doing. So he's a young fella getting a lot of experience, and it's going to bode well for him in the years to come.
A ball hog in the best way. This was the first interception. The ball was actually deflected off of linebacker Derek Barnes' helmet, but we'll give him credit for that. Your head was in the right place at the right time for that. And then let's check out this one. Aaron Rodgers is going to heave this one downfield. He's going to look towards the end zone. Massive pass breakup by Kirby Joseph. you said it. Everywhere the ball was, he was today. And then here's the other interception.
Beautiful. That was just a beautiful catch, Danny. You don't see too many wide receivers that can catch the ball the way he caught this interception. It was just a nice job of breaking in front of Tunyon, and again, just taking the ball and just doing what he does with the ball. I mean, to be a young guy, you don't see young guys being instinctual like this or put themselves in position to have success. So I'm very, very proud and happy of what he's out there doing.
Kirby Joseph, the former wide receiver, it actually makes
Oh,
incredible
no
sense
wonder.
on why
Okay.
he's able to do that and why he's so mad he hadn't come up with an interception yet so far this season. So we will update you on Kirby Joseph's status in the concussion protocol as we get more word on that. We have to talk about another rookie interception today. How often do you see defensive linemen get interceptions?
You know, you don't see that too often.
Okay.
You really don't.
Yeah.
You know, deflection, he was able to go up and get that ball. And that's what a big fella dreams about. We dream about stuff like that, Danny.
Yeah.
Of course, the big fella right here, I never had one, so I don't know how that dream turns out. But we dream about stuff like that.
We could ask defensive lineman Aiden
Yeah.
Hutchinson what he is going to dream of tonight. It probably will be that interception he had today, which was huge. Another one in the end zone. That's just taking a look at his stats through the season now. 20 total tackles, 3 TFLs.
Yes.
He's had 4.5 sacks, which is up there, way up there with among the rookies on the defensive end this season. 9 QB hits
Yes.
and an interception, which to me just felt so weird saying it. Hutch with an interception. So it was good to see him impacting this game today. Not a ton of tackles on the board for Hutch, but what did he do that made him impactful?
Well, Danny, those hits, those quarterback hits, getting pressure on the quarterback. If you can't get them down, get a hit on them, get around the quarterback to kind of speed them up. And that's what Aiden, that's what the rest of that defense was doing. They may not have a lot of sacks, but I know they put a lot of pressure on Aaron Rodgers. They made him use his feet a lot, and they did a good job of doing that, keeping the closing lanes down. So I'm just proud of the way the defense is responding and the way they played today.
Yeah, you say how the defense is responding. Aaron Glenn was given the game ball here today from head coach Dan Campbell. Glenn was really shooken up this week. He said it was an emotional, tough week for him with news around the NFL dropping, and then, of course, Aubrey Pleasant being let go there as DB's coach. But on a brighter note, we're just working our way back through the levels of the defense here. Linebacker Derek Barnes, he came up with a massive third down stop in this game and then sacked Aaron Rodgers, second-year linebacker. Probably feels pretty good to him to do that.
Oh, I know it had to. And Danny, they showing the 12 tackles, but he was keeping contained. He was stacking up the play. He was doing so many things that don't show up on the stats today that enabled that defense to play free. That defense was out there. Guys were swarming. I hadn't seen that defense play that well in a long time, but they were aggressive. And Derek Barnes, he was one of the leaders today.
How much was he involved in setting the edge and building the wall here?
Yeah, he was. He was the guy. They couldn't get anything outside, and that's what Green Bay tried to do, especially with the run and especially with those quick passes. They tried to get the offense to the outside, but Derek Barnes, Julian, all those guys did a great job of, like I say, keeping contained, forcing everything back to the middle where your help is.
And Jerry Jacobs, defensive back, was able to get in there today, coming off of an ACL rehab. So you have more of these pieces coming in, showing up on the defensive end. Deshaun Elliott was back after a finger injury as well. That wraps up most of our stuff. Let's take a look at the scores around the National Football League today. I wonder if there are any spoilers.
Let's
Let's see. Okay, Eagles getting the win over the Houstons. That's okay. That's
Yeah,
okay.
we expected
Yeah, we'll
that.
allow that. Falcons just barely missing the
Yes.
Chargers. That's a big one for them, able to bounce back. Miami, oh my gosh.
I know.
Chicago.
Wow.
What are they doing over there? They're doing something.
32 points.
They're
they
doing
put up.
something. I know Justin
Wow.
Fields.
Yes.
He ran the heck out of that ball today. Lions will get Chicago next week. Bengals putting it on the Panthers 42-21. Jacksonville picking up the win over the Raiders 27-20.
What happened to the Raiders?
I know. Derek Carr, they'll hopefully figure it out. New England putting it on the Colts. What happened to the Colts?
I know.
Preseason, they were very talked about.
Absolutely.
They look great.
Yep.
26-3 there.
There it is,
See?
Danny.
The Jets did it again.
Yeah.
They keep doing this thing. They keep doing that. Okay, Vikings squeezing out a win against the Commanders 20-17, just barely. And I mentioned it, Justin Fields, those Chicago Bears are on the clock next. You see them put up 32 points. The offense has been a little stagnant. Yeah. A lot of teams have a lot more receiving yards than they do as a whole. Yeah. What are you expecting from those Bears?
You know, I'm very impressed with how they're progressing. The first part of this season, they looked dead. I mean, you didn't think Chicago was going to do anything, but over these last couple of games, I mean, they really, it may not show in the win-loss column, but they've been playing very well as a team. Justin Fields has been getting better and better each and every snap that he's taken. So this is going to be a formidable foe that we have to go up against next week. Hopefully, again, we can use the same type of blueprint that we use today, which is to keep their offense on the sideline. Hopefully, our defense will be able to continue to play the way they played today and last week.
Chicago unloaded their defense. Robert Quinn, Roquan Smith.
That's right.
Both have found new teams. Yeah. However, they did add wide receiver Chase Claypool. Not sure exactly on his final stats, but he's got to help in that receiving core as well.
Oh, you know he does. And that's great for Chicago to give a young quarterback like Justin Fields, give him a quality veteran receiver that he can use almost like his security blanket. Yep. So they're moving in the right direction. So hopefully we can stop them from going in that direction. We want them to go that way. We don't want them to go that way, Danny. We want to stop them. We want to detour those guys.
Okay, Detroit, what do they need to do to detour next week?
So, again, let's do this. Let's do what we did today, Danny. Let's try to establish the run, which we did with Jamal. Let's take our shots when we have our opportunity. But the most important thing, let's play defense the way we played today. Come up with some of these turnovers like the defense did today. Put our offense in position so they can score touchdowns.
You saw how it was great watching this offense cook in the first part of the season, but now seeing what the defense was able to do, it just feels a lot better.
It does. It really does. Yeah. 'Cause it's hard outscoring teams. It's hard to just keep out. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that's what they had to do.
Yeah, that's what they had to do most of the season. But it's nice to play with a lead, Danny. We like playing with a lead every now and then.
Leads are awesome.
They are.
For Lomas Brown, I'm Danny Rogers. Thanks so much for sticking around for this Detroit Lions Live post-game show presented by MGM Grand Detroit. 15-9, the final here from beautiful downtown Detroit. It actually was really pretty today, but they kept us in here to watch some pretty good football from these Detroit Lions. They are looking to bounce back once again against Chicago Bears next week, and we will see you there.